you all, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jen and this is Jen Restyle Fashion. Over here we restyle, we upcycle, we style, and we sew what we already have before we go out and buy new. And speaking of buying new, before we get into this upcycle jacket, I want to show you something that I'm going to be trying out over the next couple months. Before I spend $1,000 on a designer bag, pre-loved, I need to know if I'm actually going to wear it. So this is a dupe of the Dior saddlebag that was sent to me, and I have been wearing it to see, does it actually fit into my lifestyle? Because let's be honest, there is nothing worse about spending luxury money on something that ends up sitting collecting dust. I did that with the Chanel bag, and I'm still trying to resell that bag because I think I wore it one time in a reel or a YouTube video. That's it. And so far with this bag, I actually like how it sits under my arm. This is how I would wear it, on the shoulder, not crossbody, even though there is a crossbody strap inside. But my vibe is more under the arm. Now let's talk about the quality because that really matters. The stitching is pretty clean, no skip stitches. There are a couple areas in the curve where it's not perfect, but again, this is a dupe, not the original. The hardware though, this is what surprised me. The gold is really nice, very solid. The inside looks really, really nice. It's just an open space and a zipper pocket. Is structured, you know, just like what you would need for everyday use. I don't know how much I can fit in here, but I'm going to try. But for me, this is a test. I'm going to wear it over the next couple months and see, does it actually earn a place in my wardrobe? Because if I love it, then I will go and find this on the pre-loved market, an authentic one on the pre-loved market. And then if I don't, then I just don't waste $1,000 or more. If you've ever bought something expensive and didn't wear it, you already know why this matters. I will link this one below if you want to try it out the same way that I did. And they have some other ones. So tell me, are you a test person or do you just go all in and just get what you want regardless? All right, you guys, let's get into this upcycle. You ever put something on and immediately know this is not it, but it could be? This blazer was giving oversized, but not in a good way. This is a vintage men's blazer that I picked up at Randolph Street Market. It actually has a matching vest, but we'll get into that later. The fabric and the structure, I knew something was here. So I started playing with it, folding it up, figuring out where the shape should actually hit. Now, this is the part where you have to commit because once you cut, it's done. No turning back, no fixing later. But I've learned if you keep hesitating, you'll never get to the good part. So I went ahead, I cropped it, and already it's starting to feel like a completely different piece. I'm not throwing the excess fabric away. Anytime I cut something off, I'm already thinking, what else can this become? This is where the personality comes in. I start pulling out buttons, buckles, just testing different combinations because the right detail, that's what takes something from basic to intentional. So I start with the belt, I sew it together, and then I flip it inside out so that the finish is clean. And already it's looking like it really belonged this way. This process can be a little slow, but I guarantee once you're done and the pressing is right, it's so good. Then I used the leftover pieces to create the piece that I'm going to put closer to the neck. I'm going to fold these raw edges in and stitch them down. And because there's a lining still attached, it gives me a really clean finish without having the bulk of another piece of fabric. I go back on the jacket and I remove the buttons, and then I start working on the hem. I fold it under about an inch, pinning it all the way around, just setting the foundation before I finish it by hand. And this is where things slow down a bit. Hand stitching the hem, taking my time with it, clearly with a little help from my sewing buddy. And I don't do a lot of hand sewing on camera, so let me know if that's something you'd actually want to see more of. Let me know down in the comments. Now I start building out the rest of the details. The sleeve tabs, laying everything out together, just making sure all the pieces are working before I lock anything in. And this moment right here, it's when I put the leopard against the plaid. It shouldn't work, but it does. And the contrast is what makes the whole thing feel styled. At this point, I'm thinking about all the options, all the different ways you can wear this, and things that will make it easy to change one from the other. So I go on and I secure the sleeve tab with a box stitch that is a square with an X in the middle, so it's strong and it actually holds shape. Then I create the buttonholes for the tab so we can actually adjust the sleeve once it's on. Then I went into my stash for these. I found these brown vintage buttons, which just tied everything together perfectly. I placed them on the upper part of the sleeve, about 3 to 4 inches from the sleeve cap. And this tool right here makes opening buttonholes so much cleaner than scissors. If I can find it, I will definitely link it. And once all the details are in place, this is where it really comes together. The same blazer, completely different energy. This first look is a brown knit dress, keeping it simple, my snakeskin pumps, and I think this is just a nice, simple look. This dress, I didn't realize the back was so low and that it was completely open like this, and so I'm not that crazy about it anymore. So putting a jacket over will make me want to go ahead and wear it. But it allows the jacket to make a statement. The second look, this one feels a little more elevated, but casual. It's something you could absolutely wear to work and still feel styled. Wide leg pants, pumps, brown and white polka dot tie, a handbag, very elevated. Perfect for segueing into the spring. Look number 3. This is probably my favorite because it's a little more relaxed, it's a little more edgy, and it's not expected. And it gives a completely different vibe. This blue and white striped oversized men's shirt with a white collar, put a tie on it, oversized jeans, distressed, and then this classic crop blazer on top. It's having a moment. And this last piece, I'm throwing this one in. I debated, but I was like, you guys gotta see it. Once I wore it out, I was like, you gotta see this one. So this chocolate brown lingerie top, you guys have seen these all around. I picked this one up in Vietnam, and I tried it on first by itself with the jacket. I think this is a cute date night look, right? Then I threw on my Citizens for Humanity barrel jeans, my pumps, handbag. I thought this was so sharp. Y'all, later that evening, I went to an event for the Chicago Fashion Coalition, and I'm going to show you just a few pictures of how the look turned out, because this is why I love upcycling. It's not about buying something new. It's about seeing what's already there and looking at it totally different. So tell me, which look do you like the best? Let me know down in the comments. And if you love transformations like this, upcycling, sewing, styling, and you want to see more, definitely hit that subscribe button below and click on that bell so that you don't miss an episode. All right, you guys, see you in the next one. Bye.